Take-home trends from RHS Malvern Spring Festival 2024. This year's festival was blessed with lots of inspiration and ideas which gardeners can apply to their own gardens at home. 1. Waterways. Water features are a common element in RHS show gardens, and at RHS Malvern water was flowing through rills, streams, and channels. The brook beside the Cotswold Garden matched the flow of the design from formal dining to wildlife meadow. In the Macmillan Legacy Garden, Carrie Ann Fitzpatrick and T.J. Kennedy dyed the rill which encircles their garden black, so it would reflect the colors of the overhanging planting. Ian McBain created a suspended aqueduct to transport rainfall, harvested from the garden room to the water features at the front of the garden in concrete too. As seen on Macmillan Legacy Garden, the Cotswold Garden, concrete too. Water in the garden. Water habitats. A pond or water feature is an essential element in the garden for birds and other animals to drink from and bathe in. By installing a bog garden, pond, or even a bird bath, the water becomes a full ecosystem, where amphibians can breed and a myriad of pond life will make your garden their home. Water habitats in a garden. Water is found in many shapes and forms in the garden. Some locations might have limited wildlife opportunities, a covered water butt for instance, but others have great potential. If your garden lacks water for wildlife, have a read of the types of watery habitats you might make below. Small, medium gardens. Garden ponds. You can choose the size of your pond to fit your space. Formal, straight-sided ponds usually have vertical sides, so are not wildlife-friendly unless a sloping end or ramp can be incorporated. So when making a wildlife pond from scratch, you may instead prefer to go with a more natural shape, especially if setting your pond into other wildlife-friendly garden features such as a meadow or long grass. It's good to aim for a pond with a lot of margin since much of the wildlife will be found in the shallow water and margins. If using a pre-formed liner, check the shape of the molding to be happy it has planting shelves and a decent slope. Think about how you will top up your pond in very dry spells, especially if it is big. Siting a pond near to a building where rainwater can be collected off the roof or diverted directly through a pipe to your pond makes good sense. It is always preferable to use rainwater than tap water. However, avoid positioning the pond where fertilizer may run off from adjacent lawns or beds, as this will turn your lovely wildlife pond green with algae. Container ponds. Container ponds, or a pond in a pot, are ideal for courtyard or patio gardens, or even a balcony or roof garden, where flying insects such as dragonflies and pond skaters can still make use of them. Stone troughs, old sinks or baths, and large glazed or plastic pots are suitable once drainage holes have been plugged or a flexible liner fitted. A minimum water depth of 20-30 centimeters, 8 in 1 foot, allows a few plants to be added. Wooden barrels should be thoroughly rinsed out and made watertight before planting up. Fill with water and keep topping up until the swelling of the wood seals any leaks. Bubble fountains or bird baths. Where small children are at risk, a bubble fountain or bird bath with only a thin film of water is a safer option that will still attract birds. Those with pebbles in offer a handy drinking spot for bees. Large gardens. Natural swimming ponds, pools. These are popular in continental Europe, where hotter summers make outdoor swimming in unheated water very inviting. Needing a fairly large garden and specialist skills to construct, they combine a deep swimming area within the natural features of a garden pond. Unlike an outdoor swimming pool, though these can be converted into swimming ponds, the water is neither chlorinated nor heated, so the pond works for both people and wildlife, especially if wildlife-friendly features are incorporated into the design. It relies on natural treatment processes within the shallow gravel areas and specially selected plants to keep the water clean enough for people and wildlife to share without the use of chemicals. You don't have to be a synchronized swimmer to enjoy a swimming pond, but you are likely to need deep pockets as they are not cheap. Rills and cascades. Formal rills are rather sterile for most aquatic wildlife, but those with a pond at the bottom or a cascade with wet, mossy rocks and dedicated planting pockets and drop pools will be much richer in biodiversity. Bog gardens. These can be standalone features, making good use of a wet site, or can be positioned next to ponds and independently lined. Enhance the damp habitat even further by including a log pile or two. Frogs, toads, and newts all need damp spots when out of the water, so boggy areas help provide moist stepping stones for amphibians moving between breeding sites. Streams and riverbanks. Not everyone is lucky enough to have a stream running through their garden or a river at the end of it, but if you are, there are some things you might do to maximize the wildlife. Consider digging out a pool or two in a stream to offer a mix of fast and slow water. And planting up a riverbank with willows and other moisture-loving British native plants. Rain gardens. Rain gardens are creative ways to make use of rainwater, reducing stormwater runoff and gaining an attractive garden feature. They often link several different types of water together, including stormwater planters, rills, pools, and depressions or swales, which only hold water after heavy rain. By following the general principles of good wildlife water gardening, such as making sure there is a ramp in and out of any steep-sided water container, rain gardens can offer a really rich habitat for a wide range of wildlife.